Typhoon is a game that I learned when I taught in Costa Rica. You have to ask another group of questions. So where's my group one? Group one? So say group one asked group three a question. So you have 5 questions that I handed you. Group one will pick one and ask group three. Group three will have to answer the question. And if they get it correct, then they have to pick out a point from the bag. There's points 10 through 50. There's also cards in here that say Typhoon. Does anyone want to guess what Typhoon means?
Lose your points.
Kate?
Oh, so it's either lose them or take everyone else's points.
Okay, so you completely lose all of your points. Your points get wiped out, like a typhoon. Okay? So it's completely a game of risk. It's really not. All right, group number 3, it's your turn to ask a question.
What number are you asking? This is a good one.
No more questions right now. Save that. Wait, there was save that.
Well, that's
Group 4.
Yay!
Group 2?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your question for group 2? We should all be listening.
Alright. What is a medium? M-E-D-I-U-M.
Not like Long Island medium.
How do you present information, whether it be like text or movie or...
Good, yeah, that's perfect. Yes. All right, Kate, do you know, everyone listen please. Kate, do you know the types of mediums that we went over?
movie and... like...
Video.
It could be like technology involved or like...
Oh, yeah. Yeah? Article. Okay, good, yeah, so when we read Genesis of the Tenements, what were the 4 mediums in Genesis of the Tenements?
Articles, pictures, videos, and songs.
Statistics.
Yeah, that thing.
Articles, pictures, videos, and what else?
Statistics.
Statistics, good.
Okay.
So you have authors...
Story.
Yes.
Publisher. And then message.
And then page numbers.
Page and then print. Okay.
And that's all you need for it.
And they're alphabetical in
They
order.
should, yes. So if you have Jack London, Mark Twain, and Kate Chopin, it goes Kate Chopin, Jack London, Mark Twain.
Okay.
Okay? Maddie, do you have any other questions?
Okay, so for like, when we do the, I don't know what it's called, when you put,
Parenthetical?
parentheticals, do I need to put, because I put their last name, right? And then do I put the page numbers too?
Yeah, so for a parenthetical, what you'll do, if you don't introduce the author in the paragraph that you're citing,
Yeah.
you're going to do your parentheses, the author's last name,
Yeah.
nothing, there's no comma, you just put a space, page number, and parentheses, period. If you mention the author, if it's clear who you're discussing, it's parentheses, page number, and parentheses, period. Okay?
So if I'm talking, my whole paragraph's about up in Sinclair, then I don't have to.
So whenever you cite something from Sinclair, as long as it's clear that that's who you're talking about, you just need page numbers.
So if I, like, a couple of my sentences are like, what's his name, Jacob
Reese.
Jacob Reese uses muckraking to expose something. Do I need to put his name after that sentence or just the page numbers?
If you say Jacob Reese uses muckraking, then you can just use the page number.
Do I have to write his full name or I just have his last name?
You can start with his last name, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
Let's
then
make sure I do
I have like
everything
stuff for like the little things like what applies parts of the collections, not like in the story. Should I just use that like in the page numbers?
So that's the collections book as a whole, so you
Yeah.
can just, you can do it where you cite it, it should say collections, which is italicized,
Yeah.
and then the what are you showing me?
I'm showing you.
Oh, okay.
I'm just making sure I get the right format.
So do I need to add an extra citation?
Yes, and it would just be for the collections book. So you would take out the author name and the title, and it would just be collections. Yes.
Wait, but how would you do page numbers if I use like every page times?
Well, you would cite the book as a whole, so you wouldn't need specific page numbers. You would just have to make sure you point those out in your story or in your essay.
Okay, so how would you cite the collection book?
So you would just take out these two things.
The story where it had the author's description. It's like comparing two authors for the jungle and food product design. What would you put in the parenthetical citation for that? I just put collection 5.
For when you're comparing them. So
The authors,
what are
yeah.
you citing here? Just the authors.
Yeah, just the authors.
Okay, so for this, you would just cite collection. The collection should be italicized because you're working from the whole anthology.
You just want this in quotations.
No, it should be italicized because it's the whole. Good, so you'll italicize it and then you'll need the page number.
Oh, yeah.
So do you remember what page it's from?
Okay.
And you can take out collection 5, you don't need that, so we'll just say the specifics.
Right page.
Okay, so that is page 351, so you'd say collection, and then 351.
Just space.
And then you won't comment or anything. Okay, so what else is going on here?
Well, I'm not sure how to organize this. I tried, what I did first was I organized it, I just wrote one paragraph. I didn't do them one for each. So I was gonna do a paragraph of the genre, a paragraph of food product design, a paragraph of to build a fire.
Okay.
And in each of those, I would start by comparing the author, and then slowly make my way to comparing and contrasting the realities.
Okay.
Then ended up being too big, and the issue
Okay.
I'm seeing is like, for example, if I compare the authors, I'll end up saying something about the other author that I know
Okay.
when I go to do his paragraph, I'm gonna have to say at the end, so it doesn't make sense, and I'm gonna repeat myself. So how should I structure the 3 paragraphs?
Okay, so what you're saying now is that you have them split up into the 3 stories.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or what I'm just gonna-
Okay, well, what might be easier then is to split it up and start with the authors first and just discuss all your authors in the first paragraph. So you're doing food product design, the jungle, and to go fire. Okay, so you'll have London, Schlosser, and Sinclair in your first paragraph, and then that way you can compare and contrast them, get all that information about them in your first paragraph. And what are your other 2 comparisons?
It has to do with literal.
So which literary elements did you want to use?
He does a lot of imagery.
Okay,
And, like, a lot more stronger words.
good.
He's more factual and scientific.
Okay, good. So both of these can play on to go to fire. So the more science part can definitely come to a fire because it's that naturalistic man versus nature. Or this has the imagery and that can play into the realism from to go to fire because it describes the scene around it so strongly so you know where you are. So you can use that and you can split it up from naturalism and realism. So that way you have 2 more paragraphs. And so in your naturalism paragraph, you can talk about to go to fire and food product design, and then your realism paragraph, you can talk about the jungle and to go to fire.
Okay.
That makes sense? That would be easier for you? Yeah? Anything else?
That's all.